Hey guys, what's going on? So today we are going to be talking about the new natural 5-star Astromon Nightmare. We're going to be going over all 5 of her elements, as well as my opinions on what gems she should have to better take advantage of her skills. You're free to disagree with whatever I say about her gems, but yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and start with the Fire Nightmare. She is an attacker. She has 80% chance to reduce the enemy's defense for 2 turns on her 3-star skill, and her 5-star skill is Thirst, but a very, very powerful Thirst. 30%, 80% chance, 2 turns, that's a very, very powerful Thirst. Most units have like 10% and sometimes not even 80% chance. So first off, her 3-star skill is probably one of the best in the game. Very, very high chance, 2 turns, and defense down is arguably one of the best debuffs for an Astromon to have, simply because not only will he be able to do a ton more damage to your enemy, but it also works on bosses. So defense down is a skill that's actually good everywhere. So as far as Fire Nightmare skills are concerned, I'd say they're very, very good. I've never been a huge fan of Thirst, since I don't believe bosses can be affected by this, but it would help in harder dungeons on the minions to prevent them from doing their active skill. So about her gems, let's check out her stats. So she's an attacker. Let's check out the Evo 2 version of her stats, because this is where most people will have her for most of the game. So naturally, she has very high attack power, decent HP, a little bit on the low side for an Evo 2 level 50, but still decent. Defense is okay and recovery is fine as well. So in my opinion, this is a pretty universal character just because of the 3-star skill here, defense down. It can really be good in the Golem dungeon, can be good in the Dragon dungeon, in the Astromon League, pretty much everywhere just due to this 3-star skill here. So I'd probably build her sort of balanced with emphasis on her attack power. So maybe either giving her the attack set with an attack gem and the rest for survivability like HP or defense, probably leaning more towards defense, or you can do something like making her really balanced and ignoring attack because it's already pretty high and giving her some defense and HP instead. Me personally, if I were to get her, I'd probably put an emphasis on attack just because I like high numbers, I like killing things faster, that's just my personal preference. But it may be a better idea to make her a little bit more actually balanced, just to keep her alive and get this defense down all the way to the boss. So now we're taking a look at the Water Nightmare. She is a defender, which means she will have much higher natural defense than the other stats. And we're just going to take a look at her skills first of all. So her 3-star skill is a new one called Seal. 100% chance to seal the enemy for 3 turns. Sealed foes' passive skills do not activate, so that means this 3-star skill and this 5-star skill would not work on any Astromon as long as they have this debuff Seal. So just from this skill alone, she seems like she would be mostly for Astromon League, because Seal does not work on bosses as far as I've seen. They are immune to Seal like they are Stun, Petrify, and basically any of the CC moves. But throwing this debuff, for example, on like Water Persephone, which heals every time she attacks, or throwing it on an aggressor, for example, which gets most of their attack power from their 3 and 5-star skill, would be very effective. And her 5-star skill is basically just a support healing, 10% of her own max HP, but that doesn't really work out too well since she's a defender and not a tank. As you can see, she only has 17.6 thousand HP at Evo 2 level 50, so this skill honestly isn't going to do much in my opinion. 10% of this HP right here would only be 1700, and maybe with some gems you can get that up to like 30-40k if you put like 2 gems, maybe you could get it up that high, unless they're like really, really powerful gems. So I'm not too big of a fan of her 5-star skill, seeing as she's a defender, but it still could work. It definitely could help out a bit. And of course, she also deals damage with this skill, so she's not meant to be a healer, obviously. But yeah, I would say purely Astromon League, it's where she definitely shines bright. Again, how I gem her is probably more on the attack side, even though she is a defender. I would probably give her a little bit of defense as well, maybe a defense gem or the defense set, but since she is basically best for Astromon League, and attack power is very important in Astromon League because you want to at least try and kill a couple of theirs on the first turn if possible, just to have that first turn advantage. But then again, with her and her Seal, it may not be too necessary. Her job might just be to lock a very strong or important Astromon skills on the enemy side. But since she is mainly an Astromon League Astromon, I would probably recommend getting at least some resist in there, maybe either the resist set or a resist gem even, so she can continue sealing all those important and powerful Astromons on the enemy side. Moving on to Wood Nightmare, she is a defender. Checking out her 3-star skills, we have a 100% chance to restore 30% of the SP bar every turn as long as she actually attacks, and then a 100% chance AoE taunt. So again, I would say she's mainly for Astromon League. This would be very, very powerful. Of course, you have to go complete defense defense on her, mostly defense with some HP and maybe some resist as well. So it's pretty obvious for her. She is the like bait, you know? She'll restore 30% of her own HP, so that means it's possible like in turn 2 or 3 she'll already have a full active bar, 100% chance to taunt. Everyone who doesn't resist it will get taunted into attacking her, saving all of your other units some pain. So she definitely needs to be very, very tanky. She also doesn't have that great of HP, only 17.4k at Evo 2, so I would probably be mostly focusing on defense with a Wood Nightmare. And if you do want HP, actually at this HP, she would be better off with flat instead of percent, because as far as I remember, you need 19,000 HP before percent becomes better than flat. Moving on to Light Nightmare, let's check out her skills. Okay, she's an aggressor actually. Attack power becomes proportional to own max defense and then 100% chance to inflict oh my gosh. Amazing sapper and an aggressor. Gonna take a lot of luck to ever get a Light Midnight, since you have to get it from one of those light dark eggs that you can only get like what, 4 per month or something, 3 per month, and from events sometimes as well. But damn, this is pretty amazing. So typically with aggressors, I would just go full of whatever they need to increase their attack power. So in this case, I would just go full defense on Midnight. But since light and dark units usually have 0% resist, I may either go the resist set or give her a resist gem, also with good resist substats, because when you're getting later in the game, the bosses do so much bad things to your Astromons. B9 Golem, you can have like 5-6 saps on you at one time. Actually, all the golems are pretty bad with all that stuff. So actually resist gets a lot more important the later you are in the game. And I think it's one of the more underappreciated stats. I'm guilty of this as well. I don't focus on resist enough. I try to get it on the substats, and I'm starting to build Astromon with the resist gym set now, but still not focusing enough on it, I think. So yeah, I would just go defense and some resist in there as well. That's just what I would do. So now we're taking a look at the last nightmare, Dark Nightmare, which actually seems pretty broken to me. First skill is 100% chance to restore 40% of own SP, which is the highest in the game. Currently, natural 5 stars with this usually have 30% of own SP, and now it's 40%, so that's pretty crazy. And then the 5-star skill is an 80% chance everyone, this is AoE, for 3 turns. So again, insanely good for Astromon League. Nightmares as a general seem to be definitely a more Astromon League based thing, a more competitive unit, and this one definitely is as well. 40% means you will probably have it on the 3rd turn, and if the match isn't over by then it will be once you use your skill, because no one's going to be able to do anything then. So seeing as she's a tank, she has more max HP than anything else, and that's probably actually what I'd be focusing on. The rest of her stats seem pretty much balanced, with recovery at 1700, so that's a little bit higher. But I don't think recovery is important at all in Astromon League, because she'll restore most of her SP with this thing here, and they don't drop red orbs. So I would definitely leave recovery alone in this case. So for her, I would probably go balanced, give her an HP gem, an attack gem, a defense gem, and then the resist set, something like that, or mess around with that. I would probably try and keep all of her stats pretty much equal, with a little bit more focus on HP, because obviously it will scale better when it's in percent form, that being her highest stat. I mean, HP is always the highest stat, it's always in the tens of thousands, but you know what I mean. She's a tank. But again, like the Light Nightmare, you're gonna have to get very, 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 very lucky to ever have one of these, because you can only get them out of the light dark eggs, which are very limited, and then it has to be a natural 5-star, and then it has to be a nightmare. So, but yeah, that is it for the nightmares. Have any of you guys pulled any nightmares yet? I know I haven't. I'll probably be going over the other 2 new units, Hunter and Vampire, in the future. Might make this into a little series, going over some requested monsters, giving my opinions on them, giving my opinions on their gym sets and stuff like that. But yeah, for today, that will do it. I'm also going to go ahead and write a review here. I did not mean to write A. Okay, that was weird. Okay, let's write one for the water one then. Okay, well, I accidentally entered something again, so let's go ahead and try this time with Wood Nightmare. Well, I give up about the character limit thing here, never mind. But anyway, I guess that's where I'm going to wrap up the video. Tell me if you guys have any preference on who I do next, or I'm just gonna go along with the new ones and go along with that. That will do it for today. Leave a like if you did enjoy. Thanks as always for watching, and until next time. I'm gonna buy it just to show what's in here, not sure what mid-secret eggs are. It might be the 1 to 3-star eggs, but I think those were like low eggs, I'm not too sure. But we're gonna try that out. Obviously going to cut the part out where I actually buy it, because I don't want anyone knowing my password and stuff, so Be right back. Alright, so that worked out. Let's go ahead. Mid-secret X package purchase complete. You can buy those 1 month. It's only $1, so basically no matter what we